Hi, so this is question 1 for my evaluation, and the question is, in what ways does your media product use, develop or challenge forms and conventions of real media products? So firstly we need to figure out what actually are the conventions of real media products. So the conventions of a music video would be the fact that it is to music. It also would be the use of different cinematography, like using long shots and close-ups and mid shots and arc pans and different things like that. That's what's making a music video, the different use of the movements and the angles, all the different use of cinematography instead of just a plain simple mid shot. That's what makes it a music video. The fact that it could be a performance-based music video, such as with instruments or props, or there'd also be characters in the music video. It could be like narrative-based or performance-based or conceptually based. This is what makes a music video. The fact that it is to a song and that you are recording something, that's what makes it, generally what makes it a music video. The conventions of a digipack would be the fact that it had a front cover, a back cover, at least 2 inside covers and maybe more depending on what you want it to be, with a masthead showing the name of the band or the artist and the name of the album. These would be supported with different images, perhaps of the band themselves, or maybe some images of the sky or the stars or something like that. Or it could be artwork. So I know that for Arctic Monkeys, in their second album, Forever Worst Nightmare, they used different artwork, so quite vivid colours actually. This on the main conventions. You'd also 100% find a track list. This generally is on the back of the back cover. It could be in any way really. Also, you'd see institution information, such as so you'd have a barcode, such as the producer and the distributor. You'd also have perhaps things like a thanks to fans in it, or maybe a dedication to who was in it, such as the trumpet on track 4, stuff like that. And the conventions of a poster, again, you'd have the masthead, so the album name, and the band name or some artist name. This would also be accompanied with image or artwork, such as of the band again, and this would also be accompanied with things such as the Twitter name or the website, and this would also have things like where it's available on Spotify or iTunes or Amazon, and loads of different things. Like different platforms. That's what would be shown on a poster, as well as the release date, obviously. So such as blah 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 is released on the 5th of July. So they are the main conventions of real media products. In terms of my music video, and in terms of the question, I generally feel like my music video did stick to the main conventions of a media product. So for instance, it largely stuck to conventions by the fact that I recorded it to music, and the fact it is a performance-based music video. So that is the different type of music, different type of music video. So it's performance-based. So that's included instruments. So it recorded the drums. It could have recorded 3 guitars as well as amplifiers in the back. I feel like in a way I developed it would be with my use of colour for my music video. So I use a very strong red to signify like feelings of anger or love or hatred, and that is shown, that's obviously semantic meaning, that is clearly shown with the harsh red lighting. I think I challenged traditional performance-based music videos, such as Catfish and Appleton's music video of Cocoon, as they're in quite an open space, and there's I think that is also a one take, so it's just walking around and performing like that, and I feel like that kind of looks more professional, as they've got microphones, they've got far more amps in a much use open space, whereas mine's really confined. And I feel like the use of the fact that it's in a really small space just heightens the message of the song, and heightens the fact that it's an emotional song, which is one way I have challenged traditional conventions, as generally you'd find a performance-based music video to be quite spacious, as you need the space to perform. In this case I have put them quite confined, to not only show them as a unit, but to show that they're like together, and it's to heighten the emotion of the song. Another way I have used conventions is by the use of the Three Streets logo. This is especially seen in the digipack and the poster, as I have used their own logo. I've stuck it on where the CD goes, as well as on the front cover, the back cover. On the poster it's seen twice, I think. So this shows who the artist is. It shows that it continues their own brand image, which is obviously very, very important. And this is also shown in my music video. This basically continues and uses conventions because you want to know who the band is. You don't just want to see people performing. You want to know who it is. And to a relatively up and coming band, you wouldn't necessarily know who they are, and without seeing the logo or something like that. And as soon as you start using the logo and making it prominent everywhere you use it, that becomes a brand image that people can see the font and be like, oh yeah, that's Three Streets. And then that obviously is used in lots of music videos, such as Arctic Monkeys' music video of Do I Wanna Know. They use the squiggles, which is also on top of their digipack as well. I feel like in terms of the genre of my music video, I have stuck to the conventions as well, because I have it's an alternative / indie music video, which is performance-based video is quite common to see, especially as the fact that indie music, they're generally more concerned about their music as such, whereas say pop or rap may be more concerned about a brand image or a star image they're creating. So the fact that I have done a performance music video and you can actually see them, that really sticks to the genre of indie / alternative music videos. I also feel like my digipack and my poster definitely use and develop the use of conventions, especially with the use of the brand image, so the logo again, and the font of their album name. So for the album, I've used the same font for the album, which is called Lover, which I have for the digipack and the poster, which consequently continues this brand image. That is obviously very common in digipacks and posters, because that's how you sell the product in the first place. Along with my poster, I've kept it very simple, as I feel like that's the most effective way, especially by having the little bit at the bottom where I said at Three Streets or threestreets.co.uk. And I feel like in the digipack, by having the barcode and by having, especially with the template I used it on, have the folds, and it has the front cover, the back cover, and it shows the dimensions of what it would look like. So as to say, if I was actually to print it out, I would have an actual real life digipack, especially with its folded and everything, which I think is very, very cool. So the digipacks, I feel like has definitely used the real conventions. I feel like the only way I've developed it is by using my own creative flair, with obviously the colours, the images and the logos and stuff like that, which obviously is personal to me. I feel the same for the poster. That's how I have mainly used and developed it. I've developed it by adding my own creative flair, adding what I wanted to, especially in terms of who Three Streets are and their obviously with their album. I feel like with the digipack I use a thanks to fans, which is very common in indie digipacks. So in this case I have kind of challenged the use of conventions, because I haven't opted to do like say on track 4 harmonica played by or trumpet played by. I haven't opted to do that. Instead of crediting the producers and everything like that, I've gone to fans. So I think as I'm marketing this as like a debut album, I feel like it's important to say thank you to the fans, that's obviously very clear on my digipack, which I felt that's the only way I could have challenged the conventions, because I have, instead of opting for something like, oh, thank you to the producer of this, I've opted for thank you to the fans, just to show the fans, oh, thank you for getting us here to actually produce this album. In terms of theory, Andrew Goodwin put through a music video theory, which I generally think my music videos definitely adhere to, especially in the sense of hearing the thought through the beats, and hearing the relationship with song and the visuals, the technical aspect. So such as in terms of thought through the beats, so what the lyrics mean. Obviously there's a lot of swearing, it shows like teenage angst, and it shows emotion. If you analyse the lyrics, like how you stab me in the back, it obviously shows clear like heartbroken emotions, and that is obviously shown again with the harsh red and how they're when they're playing with passion and emotion, and with the relationship with the song and the visuals, I have definitely I've definitely illustrated these visuals by the red, and I think the red is very, very key, and I think that was a very important decision to make, especially in terms of representation and audience. I feel like the red definitely shows the relationship with the song and the visuals. In terms of special effects, the lighting that I did, obviously again that's special effects, and cutting it when I did, I feel like that, especially on like the beats, that really again obviously sticks to a performance music video. It's like it wasn't just one take, it was a cut music video, straight cuts. That obviously that shows what a music video is in terms of editing, it's not just straight. And the star image, they, in a way, they have created a star image because they're showing them at the time where they're performing, they're putting on a show of them being angry and them being emotional, which obviously isn't them all the time, which I think that definitely helps to create a star image, which is Dai's theory, as by showing this star image, you're creating them, they're heartbroken, which I think in a way is a good way to sell the album, because it's showing how it's passionate and everything like that, and I think that's also very important. So in terms of my music video, in terms of in what ways does your media product use, develop or challenge forms and conventions of real media products, I feel like my music video, as well as my ancillary tasks of digital and poster, have definitely adhered and conformed to these media conventions, such as the masthead and the main images and the different use of shots, like the close-ups, which I have used quite a lot of, which in my music video, and the use of different lighting. I feel like you don't necessarily need to challenge the forms and conventions, but when I have challenged them, I've challenged them because of my own creative flair and because of what I feel like needs to fit it, such as the lighting and such as the small room it's in. I didn't pick like a location like outside or something. I made sure it was in that room because I like the enclosed space. And yeah, overall, I feel like my products have not only like continued the forms and conventions of media products, but they have developed them to become my own. They have challenged them to become my own. They definitely can be seen as real media products and real music videos and real digibacks because of the way I have used the conventions, and I feel like that's what makes them good to a sense, because I have used the conventions to build the basis of my music video.